Let's read some more Spaceboy by David Williams and illustrations by the talented Adam Stower. We've just finished chapter 21, Poked in the Bottom. So let's go to chapter 22. As a reminder, they're all making these noises as they bounced along. Chapter 22. Chomp. The plastic balls rolled between a slim gap in the rocks. Slim enough for a large plastic ball to fit through, but fortunately not quite wide enough for a moon buggy. The two moon buggies tried to pass through the gap at once. Both ended up smashing straight into the rocks on either side of them. Crunch! The faceless figures who had leaped on the moon buggies were hurled up into the air by the force of the impact. They then fell to the ground like ragdolls. Doof, doof, doof. The moon buggies were now so mangled they couldn't move another inch in any direction. Our heroes continued rolling down the gap between the rocks. But as it narrowed, the two remaining clear plastic balls became stuck too. Squish! Squish! Poor Ruth was trapped underneath Yuri's ball. "Ugh!" she cried, arching her back to push the thing off. But try as she might, it just wouldn't budge. To make matters worse, the faceless figures who'd been thrown off the moon buggies clambered to their feet. In no time, they were hurrying along the gap in the rocks after our three heroes. "We're stuck!" shouted Ruth. "Incredible powers of deduction," remarked Spaceboy, still trapped inside his giant plastic ball. Suddenly, Ruth had an idea. "I know! Maybe I can bite my way out," she exclaimed. "No harm trying," agreed Spaceboy. "One big chomp and the ball might just burst." Chomp, chomp, chomp she went. But Ruth's teeth just weren't long or sharp enough to pierce the plastic. From inside the ball, Yuri placed his face up against hers. The dog tried to lick her face. He did this whenever she was in distress. But it gave Ruth another idea. One much better than her last. "You bite it, Yuri! You bite it!" she cried. Yuri bared his fangs and chomp! The plastic ball exploded like a balloon. Pop! Ruth scrambled to her feet, cradled her dog in her arms, and planted a big kiss on his head. "Mwah! Good boy, Yuri!" "One down, one to go," called out Spaceboy from inside his plastic ball. The dog knew exactly what to do. Chomp! Pop! Now Spaceboy was free too. "Very good boy, Yuri," he said. "He's the best. If we go into space, we have to take him." "Agreed," replied Spaceboy. Ruth couldn't help herself. It had been so long since she'd hugged anyone other than Yuri. She threw open her arms and wrapped them round Spaceboy. He held her tight. For a moment, everything seemed right. It was as if she'd found the piece of her that was missing. Then, all of a sudden, that part of her was missing. One of the faceless figures grabbed Spaceboy by the arm and yanked him back hard. "Whomp! Ah!" cried Spaceboy. "Get your hands off my friend!" shouted Ruth. "Ruth, you and Yuri run away while you can," Spaceboy shouted back as he was hauled along the ground. "I am not leaving you, Spaceboy." she shouted. "Go get him, Yuri!" The little dog launched himself at the faceless figure. Grrr! He bit into the arm of the figure's radiation suit and didn't let go. Grrr! The figure tried to shake the dog off, but it was impossible. Grrr! This proved to be the perfect distraction. Ruth grabbed hold of Spaceboy's other arm and yanked him back as hard as she could. Grrr! Spaceboy was free! "Let's go, 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 go!" she shouted. Holding Spaceboy's hand, with Yuri now at her heels, Ruth raced along the narrow gap in the rocks. She didn't dare look back. That would slow them down. They had to keep moving forward, away from danger. Little did they know, they were heading straight into it. I wonder what they're heading into as they run away, look. Spaceboy, Ruth, and Yuri. Well, I guess we'll find out. In chapter 23, amusingly called Butt Sliding. I expect they may be sliding on their bottoms at some point. We'll read that next.